The current date is July 3rd of 2025 at 2:44 p.m. here in Indiana. And the current state of the Indianapolis Colts is that Daniel Jones will start at quarterback, most likely due to Richardson having lingering health issues. This is a thing I wanted to talk about deeper than quarterback, but just the entire organization as a whole. When you look at not even the other side of the city, but just down the street a little bit, right, at the Pacers organization and what they've done outside of really that Turner free agency led away. Other than that, which is kind of questionable, I don't think it's that questionable, honestly. Like, give it a year or two, you're going to be like, okay. But other than that, Pacers' last 3 years have been on everything. And it's the reason that they've had continued success deep inside of the playoffs and getting there pretty easily year after year the last couple years. The Colts, on the other hand, especially when Irsay was here and alive, the last 5-6 years had been utter turmoil. There was no saying what was wrong. Was it D coordinator? Was it offense coordinator? Was it coach? Was it the quarterback really just being bad and a cancer in the locker room? What was going on? And we did not know. The only glimpse of hope that I have right now as a Colts fan is that the new ownership group, the three daughters of Irsay, will change this around. Will they be no nonsense? If they can be, I think after this year they clean house with a lot of the people. Because I'm telling you right now, as it stands July 3rd, this is the least amount of hope and the least excited I have been for a Colts season probably since the Scott Tolzien year. I was even more excited when Luck retired and it was Jacoby Brissett because I knew we still had a super solid team. And I think this team's defense is going to be top 10. It might be my hot take by the time I do AFC ones. I think that the Colts defense is going to be great. But I think offensively, with a guy like Daniel Jones, who people say, well, Luke, it's like a Darnold situation. He was in a place where they weren't really put together well, and his O-line wasn't great. And he's going to a good O-line. He's going to a place with better receivers, and he's going to a place with a good running back, which, if you remember, he succeeded with Saquon. And I get what you were saying with all of that. But I hate to say it, he might be painfully mid. And painfully mid makes me think about a Carson Wentz type of season, right? Where there's ups and downs, and it ends with a 9-8, or it ends with an 8-9. And if I see one more 8-9 or 9-8, it's going to get pretty aggravating here. I don't see as much Colts shirts here. I don't see many people talking excited about the Colts here. Nobody in this city really right now is believing in Indianapolis. And I want the Colts to know that. I hope they hear that. I hope they see that. I hope they know that we do not believe until we get given a reason to believe. Yes, we're going to show up to the games because I'm going to be honest, in fall, there's not a ton to do here in Indiana. So you're going to see people at the games. But that does not mean that you could just lazily put out some crap again. Because if this is a new era, if this is something that's supposed to be different, I hope the Irsay daughters show us that it's going to be different. Right? No nonsense. Richardson continues to be injured and he comes back, he doesn't get the job. No. Right? Because he's injured and because he didn't earn it. So you know what? If Daniel Jones is the guy and he earned it, good for you, Daniel. And I hope he has a chip on his shoulder. And I hope that this team does great, right? But do I believe that? No. I do not believe that this Indianapolis Colts team is that much different than they were last year. And I don't think that they fully kept up with the AFC. Except there's one guy who could change everything. If Tyler Warren is used correctly on the offensive side, with Downs and Pierce going deep, Downs crossing the middle, Pittman as also a deep threat who can, catch over anybody. If the Colts fully use their weapons, this team can do it. But I have not been shown, right? Because We can do what ifs all day. If this guy, if that guy, if that guy. I've done that for the past 3-4 years. Watch the channel. How many times have I told you, if this happens to the team, if that happens to the team? And guess what? It never happens. So we are now at the time, right, when you're in a cycle, where you start to realize, shit, I'm in a cycle, and I want to break out. Does the team I'm watching want to break out? This reminds me a lot of when the Pacers were mediocre. Right after Victor Oladipo's injury, right? It was a lot of mediocrity because Sabonis was good, but he wasn't going to bring us to a deep playoff run or championship contending level. So we got rid of Sabonis to get Tyrese Halliburton, and it was a game changer. Do the Colts have a game changer up their sleeve? And I think the easiest game changer to do, sorry, Daniel Jones, I don't wish this on your career, but is that Daniel Jones sucks, the team sucks, bottoms out at 3 or 4 wins, and then Colts get a top 6 pick and take a quarterback. And this time, they take a quarterback who's proven that they can play football healthy. Not even that they can do I don't care. That they can play football healthy and that they have a good football mind. Maybe a 3-year vet, right? A Cal Mendoza maybe out of IU. A Lenora Sellers if he really gets himself together. Now he's had 2 years in college. But not a guy who's played 13 games and struggles to see the field. I hate to say it. I am almost all the way sold out on him. And I'm almost all the way sold out on, again, this whole regime that we got right now. It's going to take a lot to bring me back up. And that's saying a lot because, as you guys know, I love the Colts with my whole heart and soul. So, yeah, I'm angry with the Colts. That's my thoughts of Indianapolis on July 3rd, 2025. We'll see what changes. See you guys later.